other side of that too, you can stretch it out a little bit further. So we have babies that are listening, and we have 10 and 11-year-olds, especially listening to the podcast.
And grandparents and parents, right? So Andrew, when you're playing this music inside, what age are you?
Ooh, I'm gonna go somewhere in around 5 and a half.
5 and a half. Yeah. What about you, Polly?
Oh, I would say all the ages instantaneously, all at once.
It's just moving around, or like nesting dolls, like those Russian nesting dolls, right? All the way down to infants. So tell me about the new album.
The new album, Ear Snacks Songs from the
Ear
Podcast.
Snacks is the best.
We're super excited about it. You know, we've been working on the podcast now for a year. We've almost made it through the end of the first season, 13 episodes. And the original songs that are in the podcast are really wonderful. They're catchy. Kids are loving them. And they all have a lot of heart, and they all have kind of a lot of... they have a lot of material in them for thinking about the world, and we were so excited to put them together on a record.
Right. I mean, you're singing about grapes, but you're really singing about friendship and having fun and all of those things. When you see kids connecting with you, Andrew, when they respond and they laugh, you know, at you talking on your harmonica, like we laugh, really, what am I saying? We all laugh. How does that feel to you?
Oh my gosh, it's the best feeling in the world. Polly and I, we've come from the world of studio music, of writing music for television and advertising and children's television and indie film. But when we started doing kids music, we were able to play on carpets, in bookstores, in libraries, and that's the best feeling in the world. We have our own son, and we want him to grow up with amazing media that inspires him, not just, you know, kind of sticks him to something, but lets him think about the world and have fun.
And there's this whole new way of getting music out, right? I mean, I would think the podcast has been a wonderful way to kind of reach people and not have to go through a record company or a television channel.
Absolutely, and we listen to podcasts all the time. We listen to our own shows about news and about the world and culture, and we thought, you know, when we were growing up, we used to listen to tapes in the car that it wasn't just music, but stories and that kind of thing that let our imagination go while we were looking out the window or while we were drawing, and we wanted kids to have that same opportunity.
To do that same thing. And same question for you, when you feel that reaction from kids, and they're laughing in all the right places and delighting in all the things that you do, because you're so great with your voice, the lilt to the, you know, it's very kid-like in the best sort of way. What does it feel like to you?
It's so cool to see families experiencing these moments of childhood together, because, you know, while you're in it, 0 to 8 feels like a really long time. But as I've seen kids get older over the last 5 years, it goes by so quickly. And so to see them on a Saturday morning, laughing at jokes, having a snack together, going to a bookstore, it's the most amazing thing.
Yeah, and it gives us all a chance to be that age again for a minute. I think that's why it's, you know, super fun to do that with your kids. Are there kids in the family yet?
Oh, we have one 2-year-old.
One 2-year-old? Boy, girl?
Boy. His name is Izzy, and he's hilarious.
Izzy is hilarious, and does he like the music?
He does. Of course he does. Was our first podcast listener, of
course.
Was he really? Well, we tested stuff out as we were driving around town, listening to mixes. He would come up to the studio or be in the car with us, and at this point, he might have all the episodes memorized.
That is so cool. And was he inspiration as well?
Oh, always. I mean, one of our very first episode was about hats. And that was because that was his first word. At 11 months about, he was walking around looking at hats going, hat.
Isn't that amazing?
So we said, no, we got to stop what we were planning, and it's about hats this month.
Is that on the podcast?
It is. The second episode of Ear Snacks is about hats, and we've got 2 hat songs on the record.
Okay, now if we Google Ear Snacks, we'll be able to find the podcast.
You'll be able to find it.
Listen.
Yeah.
You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. That was a great way to start out the day. You can subscribe to Andrew and Polly's podcast, Ear Snacks, through iTunes, and their new album comes out on September 30th. But everybody here in the audience is going home with a special pre-release copy, so I hope you'll enjoy it.
I didn't know if they took that many.
Oh.
I guess they did.
Scrape all day long. Coming up next, you can't head back to school without new supplies. So we're going to see the latest and cool and stylish classroom items while we sing about grapes after a quick break.
That's great. 10 minutes.